Welcome to this week's Smackdown recap. As always in these recap videos, we go over everything you need to know about this important episode of WWE. I give my final thoughts on the show at the end of the video, and you guys can leave me your thoughts on the show down in the comments below. Literally any thoughts about the show that you have, just leave them all in the comments below. But before we get anywhere into the video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go follow the socials, which includes my Instagram account, my X account, and the links to those are always in the description of every video. So all that is completely free, but it helps me out a ton. But now, let's get right on into this week's Smackdown recap. Alright, so we kicked the show off with Becky Lynch, and I'm really going to cut to the chase on this opener because there was really nothing special, if you ask me. Becky Lynch comes out. She, for the most part, literally just starts it off with talking crap and talking shit on Ireland, but after a few minutes of that, this is where things started to get, at least some sort of momentum. Tiffany Stratton comes out and pretty much is the polar opposite of Becky Lynch and says, well, Becky, you're not even on the show. You might as well just get out of here. And if you don't get out of here, well, maybe I'll have to make you. And literally, that was really all that Tiffany could say there. And then Nia Jax came out, and then this is where things just got even worse, in my opinion. Because Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, they've had so many matches, and them being in the same picture is just it's very repetitive at this point. But Nia Jax comes out and pretty much she says a few words, but then her and Becky Lynch just start beating up Tiffany Stratton, and then Jade Cargill comes out and helps out Tiffany Stratton, and then it gets announced that will be our main event, Becky Lynch and Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. That's literally all there was here. There was no major story twists. This wasn't very interesting. It didn't really have me intrigued for the most part, and it was just pretty lackluster in my opinion. But really, that's all I have to say about the opener. Alright, and next up, we did have the Motor City Machine Guns versus Mellow Don't Miz. And once again, man, I'm just going to be blatantly honest, like I am in every recap video. It wasn't that great. It was okay. I'm not going to say that this match was absolutely garbage, because it wasn't. It wasn't flat out garbage. It just wasn't something that, it wasn't something that truly intrigued me, enough. It was mediocre, I would say. I just don't think it was anything special, and honestly, man, the only thing I'm waiting for is the Carmelo Hayes heel turn, and we still haven't gotten that. I know we're going to get that, man, but I really just want it to be here already. So that's really all I'm really wanting out of this entire thing with the whole Mellow Don't Miz and all that. That's really all I want, and I'm sure that's really all a lot of people want out of this. But obviously, we're going to have to wait, and it didn't happen tonight, which is unfortunate. But it's going to happen soon. But back to this match. In this match, we did have Mellow Don't Miz win. At the end of the match, we did see a dab up between Carmelo Hayes and The Miz. So I'm assuming from that means it's still going to be a few weeks before we do get this heel turn from Hayes. But man, hopefully it's at least soon, man. I'm waiting for it. I'm freaking waiting for it. And when it happens, it's going to be absolutely awesome. But man, that's really all there is to go over here. It's just nothing too special in my opinion. But Mellow Don't Miz does pick up the win here. Alright, and next up we moved on to Piper Niven versus Charlotte Flair. This is yet another match where it's kind of just like, well, what the heck? Why are we having the champion get pinned here? Charlotte Flair going in as one half of the women's tag team champions, and in this match she lost and got pinned by Piper Niven. I get it was with interference of the Secret Service, but still, I don't understand why we're having to pin the champion here. I don't get that. That's kind of already making the champions look weak when they literally just won it just like a few weeks ago. I don't understand the thought process of that, but I guess, yeah, Piper Niven pins the champion, sure. Piper Niven, yeah, literally, why, somebody like Piper Niven, why have her pin the champion, especially Charlotte Flair, come on. Oh, man, I don't understand, I don't understand, man. Oh, man, just does not make any sense. They're doing it with Solo Sikoa. They're having him get pinned week after week, and now we're having another champion get pinned here. Hopefully that doesn't continue, but it shouldn't even happen tonight, in my opinion. That's really all I have to say about this match. Other than that, nothing special, if you ask me. All right, and next up, we moved on to something actually good, and I mean very good, actually. We moved on to the John Cena and Logan Paul segment. There was a lot to talk about here, and there's so much to talk about that honestly, there's some of it that, I mean, there's just a lot of information to really understand from this segment, so I really recommend going and watching this promo back. I will mention a few things that were important, but I'm telling y'all, there is a lot that went into this segment, but I will try to list off the main things. So we start off, Cena comes out, but before he can say anything himself, we do have Logan Paul obviously interrupt, and then Logan Paul basically tells John Cena that he is an imposter, and then Logan Paul asks the fans, well, who's the imposter realistically? The guy who only has 5 moves, referring to John Cena, or the guy who comes in this ring and performs banger matches, pretty much daily, according to Logan Paul. Obviously, that being Logan Paul. So that's pretty much what Logan Paul asked there, but then the rest of the promo is really John Cena talking, and really what John Cena says, he tells Logan Paul that he's a parasite. He tells him that you come in this ring and you wonder what you can take, while I come in here and I wonder, well, what can I bring to this business? Therefore, you are the parasite upon the WWE. And then he tells Logan Paul that you know about hustle, but you damn sure don't know about loyalty and respect. I mean, that is really just a few of the main things that really, that really stood out in this promo, man. I'm telling y'all, there is so much that honestly, I wish I wrote a lot of this down, man, and unfortunately I didn't. I'm personally probably going to go back and watch this promo, man, but there was literally just so much. But like I said, mainly the entire time John Cena was talking, but those are really the main things. John Cena calls Logan Paul a parasite. He calls him, like I said, he tells him that he doesn't know anything about loyalty and respect. And like I said, there's so much more than just that. But then at the end of the promo, we do see John Cena deliver, obviously, an AA to Logan Paul and tells him he'll see him at Clash in Paris. So I'm assuming this actually this could be the last time that we see these two, before their actual match. This could have been the go-home promo, and honestly, it makes sense. This promo, like I said, man, it was so freaking good. Best thing that happened in this show so far, easily. Might be the best thing that happens tonight, most likely, but we'll figure that out at the end of the show, or at the end of the video. But man, like I said, you definitely go back and watch this promo if you have not. And even if you did, man, I'd go back and rewatch it again and really try to analyze everything, because there was a lot of good stuff that Cena and Logan Paul said to each other. Like I said, I personally will be one to go back and rewatch this. But those, like I said, those are really the main things that Logan and John did say. But overall, man, great freaking promo, and I absolutely love this one. All right, and next up, we moved on to the Street Profits versus JC Mateo and Tonga Loa of the MFT. And this match was actually pretty good, in my opinion. I will say this has definitely been, as far as matches, this has been so far the best match of the night. Now, this is obviously before I have witnessed the main event, but for right now, this is so far my personal best match of the night. It was kind of just better than anything else I feel like we've seen tonight so far. That doesn't mean it's going to be my favorite match of the entire night. Just for right now, it is. As far as what happened in this match, we had some interference from Jimmy Uso. He tried to attack Tala Tonga with a chair. That didn't work out too well. In fact, the chair got hit out of his hand, and then he ate a big boot right to the face. But then Sami Zayn came out, helped him out, and then we had the Street Profits, or I should say Montez Ford from the Street Profits. He was able to hit a 5-star frog splash down onto JC Mateo after all that distraction, and then 1, 2, 3, and the match is over. Those are really the main highlights there. And then obviously the Street Profits do pick up the win here. But honestly, I thought this was actually a pretty good match in my opinion. And like I said, so far for right now, like I said, I have not even witnessed the main event or any of the other matches that are still to come. But for right now, this is one of the better match of tonight so far. But once again, Street Profits do pick up the win, and I was pleasantly happy with this match. Alright, next up, well, we were supposed to have a next up match, but, well, we didn't. It was supposed to be Aleister Black versus R-Truth. Aleister Black makes his entrance, gets in the ring, we're waiting for R-Truth, then what do you know? His video pops up on the little Titantron or little screen area, and then R-Truth says he flew to Dublin, Georgia, not Dublin, Ireland. He says he didn't even know there was 2 places with Dublin in them. Bro, that was funny as hell, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, R-Truth, he flew to the wrong place. He's not even in Ireland. He's still in America. So he's not even anywhere near to be able to compete. But he says that he has a little friend for Aleister Black to face. And who is that friend? It is Damian Priest. But do we have a match? No, we don't. Damian Priest rushes out and it turns into an all-out brawl that I absolutely freaking loved. I feel like it could have been more chaotic with weapons. It wasn't, but man, I don't care. It was a big all-out brawl. I freaking loved it, man. Honestly, I am waiting for the final big match with these two in a feud. Honestly, I think I'm waiting for... I feel like these two are probably going to have an Extreme Rules type of match, or at least Extreme Rules, Falls Count Anywhere, Last Man Standing. These two are going to have some sort of stipulation in their match whenever they have it finally. But man, cannot wait for it. Honestly, love this brawl. But we did not have the R-Truth versus Aleister Black, but instead we got this, and honestly, I'll take it, man, honestly, because I feel like if R-Truth really was here, it probably would have been like maybe a 2-minute match. At least we got this, man, honestly. So I absolutely freaking love this in my opinion. Alright, and then immediately following that, we didn't even have a commercial break. We had Drew McIntyre come out and says, any updates on, he says, any updates on Cody Rhodes? Well, I'll tell you an update on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is a bitch. That's exactly what Drew McIntyre said. He gets in the ring and he goes on about Cody Rhodes. He says that he is one of the few people to pin Cody Rhodes in the WWE. He tells Cody to keep that title close, take a picture with it, snuggle up with it, because next time we get in the ring, I'm going to pin you, and it's going to be for that, and now it's going to be me taking that WWE Championship off your hands. And then we do have the introduction of Randy Orton into this feud, if you ask me. I feel like that is exactly what this is. Randy Orton, you could hear the crowd, they're all riled up. We can't really see it from the screen, but then finally Randy Orton, he pops up with his tongue out and everything. The Viper is ready, and the Viper strikes with that big RKO, man. I think this is the insertion of Randy Orton into this feud with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, and I absolutely love it. This is something I predicted, man. I literally predicted in my Clash in Paris predictions video, that Cody Rhodes would go defend, oh my god, his title in a triple threat with McIntyre and Randy Orton. So I think that it was finally the route that they are taking, and I'm absolutely freaking loving it, man. I'm not gonna lie, dude, this show turned around really fast. I didn't really like the starting few things of this show. It's starting to turn around, if you ask me. But yeah, I absolutely love this, man. I'm so glad Randy Orton is probably going to be inserted into this feud. I love it. Great booking decision. Freaking awesome, man. Alright, and now we moved on to our main event of the night, which included Becky Lynch and Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. And yes, they did have to rush this match, I believe, because it definitely felt rushed, but it actually was very good. They obviously had to rush it because, they were in a time crunch because of how long they can really be on air. But man, with that little time crunch, I feel like that's actually what made this match even better. I felt like if they had more time, it might not have been as good as it really was. This match was actually very freaking good and fast paced, and I freaking loved it. Inevitably though, in this match, Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton do win. I don't know why I stuttered there. But yeah. Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton do pick up the win here. I'm honestly, the only thing I really don't like about this match is the insertion of Nia Jax. It feels like they're really just trying to insert her back into the Women's World title picture, and I just don't really care for that, man. They've done it too much, and I don't think anybody really wants to see it anymore at this point. But yeah, I mean, that's really the only minor thing that I really don't like about this match. But either way, this match was very good, and I enjoyed that Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill do actually pick up the win here. But yeah, man, I really did enjoy this main event. Now, yes, that was the main event, but there was actually one little segment after that. We pan over immediately after Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. Immediately after they win, we pan over to John Cena. It seems as if he's probably about to leave the arena, and Nick Aldis comes behind him, and Nick Aldis says, "John, I have news on Brock Lesnar." And we're all kind of like, okay, well, let's hear it. Of course, they don't give it to us right now. And Logan Paul comes up, moves Nick Aldis out of the way, and sucker punches John Cena, knocks him out. John Cena falls to the ground. Logan Paul runs away to his car and drives off. And then that's really the end of the show there. But I really want to know what that news about Brock Lesnar is, and I'm assuming we'll hopefully figure it out next week on Smackdown, man. But man, that was actually very interesting. It kind of left us on a cliffhanger, if you ask me. Alright, everybody, well, you have now reached the end of the video. As far as the overall episode of this Smackdown, like I said, at the first part of this show, I mean, it was just not my cup of tea. But low-key, it did start to get a little bit better. So, look, I'll put it at decent at best. But it wasn't the greatest show that we're ever going to get, of course. But yeah, I'll give it decent at best, but you guys can leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to see more from me, you can go follow my socials, and I do post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and pretty much every day out of the weekend as well. But yeah, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, go follow the socials, helps me out a ton. Hope y'all enjoy. Leave me all your final thoughts down in the comments, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.